Good evening, everybody. Welcome to SewnangelSeason with our game mode budget battle. This is our first game of the night. Nothing versus Diamond Dogs. Nothing on the killer first in the form of Greasy on the Ghoul. On Blood Lodge, second set, we got the Billy, and third set, the Dark Lord. Joining me in the Cashers booth today is the one and only Hasso. Hasso, how are you doing today? I mean, we saw a bunch of budget battle games yesterday. How are you feeling about your first one?
To be honest, man, I'm very excited. You know, this is something that's been in the making for a while. SewnangelSeason have put a lot of effort into this tournament, and it is good to see that it's so far so smooth, and it's beautiful to see that, you know, teams are showing their strategies on how they're going to spend their money. And, you know, looking at the build that we got off the rip from Greasy, I mean, this is a very strong build. You know, you talk about a build that is about general aggression and slowing down the game. This is, I mean, this says it all, really. You know, you've got your Eruption, your Wretched Fate, and your Pain Res. Sort of there to slow down the Obsession, but then also get your value on the Generator. So overall, a game changer when it went after that first gen pop. So overall, I'm very excited. But I have to give it to the Survivors so far. Very good stealth. We have spotted out our first man in the big space. This man has been around the Diamond Dogs for a while, and you know, he has recently joined them, but has hung around them for a fair bit, and they know each other very well. So it's good to see him get in action for, I believe this is their first game. Of course, it's their first game, but first game of SewnangelSeason. So this is good, and I haven't really heard. I'm not too aware the SEA, NEA teams. I have to learn a bit more about who's on what team. I have heard of Greasy before, but yeah, I tell you what, mate, I'm fired up. You got any ideas on how these games might go?
All I know is that it's going to be extremely chaotic. I mean, look at the sets that we have. I mean, we got Ghoul, Billy, and Dracula. I mean, what other sets could you possibly want? It's just high octane, back to back, and with the caliber of these teams, we're going to see some great plays. As you see, our second injury onto Beanie. Like I said, I've heard of Greasy around the block here in the SEA region, so I'm curious to see how they play. And so far, they're taking the first chase onto Beanie, taking it over to the right over to the rock pillar. Oh, do we get the buy block? We did not get the buy block. They were able to blow it right into the killer. That is extremely unfortunate for Greasy, but Beanie is having an excellent first chase, and bolts straight into the arms of the Ghoul. I just absolutely cast a curse. That my apologies, but looks like we might see the Pain Res, and I think it's despite this amazing stealth by Diamond Dogs at the beginning, so far Greasy's not looking too bad. Hasso.
Yeah, I mean, look, you always want to have a solid start, especially in a comp setting. Having a good start sort of sets the tone for the rest of the game. And, you know, both these teams, I mean, clearly it's sort of even at the moment. We've got a bit of gem progress. We obviously have our first hook, and, you know, here we go with Ranger stealthing on the edge map. But I have to say, the Survivors to you know, almost last Corrupt out and get on the main generator, that was ballsy. There's no doubt about that. To send it and sort of, you know, pray that Greasy didn't check main, but Spacey was obviously caught out. But, you know, there are some great players playing in this, and there's the first generator popping. But as I was saying, there's some great players, a lot of experience going around. Philly Fry, Ranger, Beanie, Spacey's been around some of the best of the best in the region, and you know, it is really good to see these players come together and just put in the effort. And I know Diamond Dogs are very synergized as a team, and you know, they are very coordinated. We are going to take a hit here onto Philly Fry. Now, Philly Fry is not the man you want to chase. If I'm the killer, I wouldn't want to chase Philly Fry. He's a 12 MS demon. You don't want to mess around with that. So it's definitely not the best play. And you know, we are going to leave and take chase onto Spacey. Now, I'm not too sure what the play is here. Obviously, a couple of gens have popped for one hook state, which is really good for the Survivors, do not get me wrong. But the question is now, do you just play for... Hold on. That is a beautiful block. Let me stop what I was going to say. That is beautiful. That is insane. There's a reset in the background as well. This is really nice from the Survivors to reset, but Greasy putting on a performance to block Spacey and drag him towards the middle of the map. This is what you need if you're Greasy. This will give him some momentum here. That's a pain res, bang, straight on. I believe that'll probably hit main, and it does too. So this is very nicely done, and I have to say it is now just getting closer and closer. The battle between these two for this first set, first matchup. I mean, it's very close at the moment. That is a ridiculous hit. I do not know how that has hit the big Ranger, but you know, just hit through walls at this point. But that being said, Greasy, yeah, just playing this very nicely. I don't know, as I was saying before, Spacey got blocked at Shack, what the best play is if you just play for stages. You definitely could play for a 4K year. I mean, you probably still are, considering there's 3 gens left. But in a time like this, I mean, the gen pressure is up there, so it is very intense. But yeah, I mean, have to talk about these guys' builds quickly. They have some very strong builds. Oh, no, the ping. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to let everyone know, yeah, nothing is an SEA team. Diamond Dogs is a OCE team, so we are absolutely going to be seeing some crazy hits. I mean, the bites are already crazy enough with, you know, the Ghoul, but add some little ping, sprinkle some ping in there, and we're going to see some absolute shotgun blasts like that through the pallet. But that's exactly what Greasy needed. I think you were about to say, like, what's his exact strategy to go for? Do you start going for the pain reses? Do you start spreading your eruptions? And, well, I think we got our answer here as we were able to get our second stage onto Spacey. So we'll probably stay around this hook for a little bit, trying to maybe catch out the Savior, and honestly just try to tunnel out, because 3v1 at 3 gens remaining, not the most fun with a Ghoul on ping.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, and look, this could be a tunnel out very soon, and it will be. There's no doubt about that, unless this man can last. Spacey has been around for a while. Like I said, he does know the ins and the outs of the game very well, so to see him last wouldn't be too much of a shock. But we do get stuck on the pallet, we will not get over, and that'll just buy Spacey some more time. We do have the big man Ranger set up for the hit tank, which we're gonna need ASAP, because we're gonna have to run up top, and I don't think this is the life player, so this is problems here. Have we dropped down? Hold on a minute. We have dropped down, so that is beautiful from Spacey to time that and win it, and we're just playing this 50 now. Remember, I don't know if his light has been used. I don't think it has. He does the resilience, and there's the resilience value coming in beautifully. Not too sure if it makes that regardless of the perk, but that is very nicely done. And this is a chase that you need if you are on the side of the survivors, to buy time. Buying time in a dire situation like this, where, you know, you might have a death very shortly, is what you need. We are just going to opt to take the hit on the big Ranger sort of doing nothing, just running around in circles, trying to get that hit tank, and finally that'll buy enough time for the big Spacey. And the chase is back onto Spacey, so we haven't lost target of him, but the real question is, Peach, what do you do here if you are the killer? You need to figure out when to stop the chase, and sort of, you know, realize that you might have to just play for stages, because I tell you what, with the gen pressure that we're at so far, it is definitely looking like this game will be out.
There is a lot of, we just see the, I thought we were able to block Spacey from the pallet, but they were able to make it over. But yeah, no, there is absolutely a ton of gen pressure, and as they're going for the tunnel, we saw Survivors hop on that main gen immediately. Look at that gen pumping. It is bound to pop, but we will apply the eruption. But yeah, I think unless we can get a very fast chase onto Spacey and turn this into a 3v1, it might be time to start going for either Ranga or Philly and just get the pain reses going, to get the fresh hooks on the board and make it easier for this route side. And the barrel absolutely fat shaming the Ghoul there, trying to lunge around the, trying to lunge over to main, because they said main just has such high progress. And I think we do want to just keep this 3 gen as best as possible, because that gen over there at 5, we don't really care about that, or I guess more closer to 4. We don't really care about that one. It's an outlier, doesn't mean anything. But if we can hold this 3 gen, get the tunnel out, maybe we do catch out the reset though. We do catch out Ranga and Spacey over here at the bottom side of the map. It looks like they might go, yeah, they will opt to go for the tunnel. Can they cut them off? They get a beautiful cutoff and get the down, get the rushing prop, and it looks like we're continuing spreading pressure, trying to go for the bite onto Beanie, and we do get it. This is exactly what Grease needed. Now we're going to see, unless they decide to commit to Beanie, no, they will not look around to see if anyone's coming in for the Beamer save or a flashbang. I don't think anyone is around. No, I don't think there is anyone around, so we will see the death of Spacey at 2 gens remaining, but everyone is injured And we do see a lot of progress on the board, so we might see that 4th gen pop, but it's still back and forth right now, Paso.
I mean, hold on. The big... Oh, Philly Fry, you cannot do that. You should not be doing that. That is illegal. You should not be doing that. Philly Fry, the man with steel balls. That is diabolical to do that in a situation like that where you have 3 injured. What are we doing? We're just sitting the generator. And you know what? Fair play. It's worked out, so I can't really say anything else, but they are going to reset in the background. But my goodness, to pop a Jenna into SB, sprint burst away from it, that is insane right there. Great work from Philly Fry, but I tell you what, this is where the pressure will start to build on the killer, because if they let this reset get off here, it could definitely be a lot more problematic. We are going to maybe check the crane. If we do, we will find this reset. And hold on, we have not got there in time though, so we haven't found the reset in time. We do not know the stealthy random crane. Now, the real question is, if you're the survivors, how do you play this? Do you play this aggressive, passive aggressive? You have to sort of figure out what the balance is, because you don't want to send your whole team in working gens just to find out that it's backfired on you completely. So it really has to work out for them if they want to get out. But I tell you what, Greasy actually playing this very nice, patrolling the generators, going back and forth, playing a bit of ping pong, to be brutally honest, just checking those generators, making sure no one's on them. And, you know, we've already got Eruption on, I think, 1 or 2 gens, so this is really nice. And we are going to go and reset Philly Fry over towards the crane as well. So, honestly, if they get 3 healthy and they sort of restart, spin the block again, see how it goes, it'll definitely work out for them, Peach.
So then we already see Beanie immediately hopping onto a generator, trying to stop the regressions from happening, but Greasy, suspecting that someone is there, goes immediately back to that generator and reduces the reset in the background, get the bite onto Beanie, and I think this is going to have to be a very fast down. I mean, they know that the survivors resets and they're not on the gens immediately, so maybe they can commit this for a little bit, but they are sending it over to Shaq, which is obviously a very strong resource to use against the Ghoul, so Greasy opting to go over to the furthest gen of 11, maybe to apply Eruption, maybe catch someone out, and we already see Ranga hopping right back onto that generator. Do find Philly over here at this little truck, and just ducking the plane. Oh my god, that was disgusting. I saw and we into the beamer. I saw the bite. He looked like he absolutely dodged, like ducked the bite, and then got the pallets done. That is absolutely beautiful by Philly. And again, just too much time has been bought, and Greasy has to go back to the generator. As you can see, you got 2 pistons, almost 3, pumping on the 4 generator. And it's just, survivors are playing this absolutely wonderful. And we just got the reset onto Beanie already. We do catch him up again, but not a full bite. Just the grab, and we will go into the M1, but once again, they send it over to Shaq. So at some point or another, Greasy has to commit to someone, because I think with his gen spread, I don't think it's holdable.
Yeah, Ranga, you cannot be doing that. What are we doing? We've been caught with our pants down. That is not what you want. And now we're going to play a terrible pallet here. I mean, I don't know if this is going to work. The man's on 80 MS. He's been on maybe 110, something like that. I'm not too sure. But he's winning some 50s. And hold on a second, Ranga, you need to stop. He's going to have to make the death spot eventually. Does he make this pallet? He doesn't even go for that pallet. And he's just going to lose a 50 here. And this should be the down onto the big Ranga. Now, you did say it beautifully. I do also agree that we have to go and commit someone eventually, and that's what we've done. But the gen pressure is just going to build on Greasy, and eventually a gen will pop. There's no doubt about that. But the real question is, what do you do here? He's got to wait 15, 14 seconds for his Eruption to come back. He's out of dashes. Philly Fry sitting a gen. Yeah, I mean, it is looking really dire, and to be brutally honest, the survivors have played this really well. You know, I wouldn't even say Greasy's made any real errors in a game like this. I think there's just been some unfortunate things that have worked out because the survivors are simply just playing so slow. And that's the pain race. So hold on a second. That's going to force Philly Fry off the generator. This is not over yet. That will start regressing now. They do have to send it in, and Beanie, that is, I mean, fair play, I guess. Just doesn't care about being injured. Doesn't need to worry about the reset, which is fair enough. You know, especially when the killer is such a big terror radius and you know we're in it, so you should be fine. And Beanie has gotten a little bit lost here. Now, it will depend on how he plays. He's just going to send it away towards Crane. I don't think we have it. I don't think we'll make this. Is that BL? What? We've hit
Shot
through the locker. What is that, Peach?
Absolutely shot through the locker, and we're able to find out exactly where all the pressure is being. But we do see Philly walking around with fixated, great stealthing. They're going to hop right back on the generator as soon as they leave. But that, oh my gosh, that hit through the locker. They needed that locker to be forced so they could buy time for. Because I think if they were to force the locker and get the grab, I think Philly had enough time to pop the gen. But because of the shot through the locker, it was just not happening. But we are see Philly immediately hopping back on the gen. We see the crows flying in the background, so we know Renga is here at this pallet over here, at this tile. And wait, Philly didn't get it for the wait, was that the unbreakable in the background?
I'm not too sure if we could get a. No, that is the pick. So hold on, very smart from the big Philly front. Ranger, you got to get away from this pallet, mate. It's not going to save your life. Seriously, I don't know what we're doing. Just send it away. There we go. We're sending it away to this little trash. No, I mean, it's good, but it's a trash filler. So there's the final gem popping. There was no doubt about that. That was always going to happen. Now, we have to get the big Philly Fry here. And Philly Fry better not do something stupid, because we've seen it before, and Philly Fry is just given a tag. I mean, you can't really do much in a situation like that. There's nothing to work with there. Not really a good, you know, whatever it is, line of sight for the survivors there, so it doesn't really work out. Now, Philly Fry is gonna hopefully get a down taken for him shortly on the side of maybe Rang or Beanie, and it's just going to save them the extra stage. And there's the stun from the big Ranger. Now, that is what you like to see. That is team coordination at its peak. That is really well done. Now, they might even just pause here if they do keep doing circles. No, that is beautiful from the survivors. They timed that immaculately. Now, I don't think we are going to get it. Out of nowhere. Now, hold on a second. When did Ranger get that? That is ridiculous. I did not see that he had dead hard against the Ghoul. That is very nicely done from the big Rangy Bear. Now, what are we going to do here? We're just going to take the down onto Beanie, and that should allow Philly Fry to get out. And rightfully so. And there you go. So that will be 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6.
You trapped yourself. Wait, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 stages, 3 fresh. Wait, if they can find him. Is there a world where Beanie crawls out of this gate right now?
No.
Is there a world?
Money on it?
Okay. Okay. The chance is always there. I mean, we've seen some crazier results. We've seen some crazy plays in this match. So it wasn't out of the realm of possibility to see him crawl out, but just very unlikely. But yeah, we see the 3 fresh, 7 stages. Absolutely well played by both sides. I mean, Greasy, absolutely mechanically, just absolutely gifted with his killer. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to SewnangelSeason. We are on to our second trial of the first set. Our previous result was a 3 fresh 7 stage by Greasy on the Ghoul. So now, Diamond Dogs is playing the Ghoul Franga as our killer. Once again, in the caster's booth with me is Hasso. Hasso, we've seen some incredible gameplay by our killer. Amazing body blocks, amazing pallet. Well, pallet blocks as well. I mean, blocks all the way around. Do you think? How do you think the Survivor side now? This is our first time seeing them. How do you think they're gonna? How do you think we're gonna do against Renga's Ghoul? As I know, Renga plays the Ghoul quite often.
Look, it's a good question. I haven't, seen them play. It was a bit different because I've seen the Diamond Dogs play. But oh no, this is not the start you want though. Now Ranga does get a little bit too dashy and does have to give away the M1 in the end. But look. It's really, I think, gonna come down to how their start is. The mid to late game for the previous trial with Diamond Dogs on the Survivor was a very long. It took them a long time. When Spacey died to pop those next 2 gens, it took a long time. So it's really going to depend on how well these guys have this gen pressure. And I'm telling you now, so far, so good. I mean, have to give it to Reese here, looping very nicely. I'm not too sure what perks we have on the side of the Survivor. That'll just be a download, but we do have light in hand, so very nice. But yeah, a beautiful start for the Survivors. We are doubling out main, which I love to see. Now, hopefully, no pain race on the side of the big Ranger. I think the main cause as to why he's not running the pain race, which I'll have to give it to him, is because he knows that maybe he wants to go ham on his own on the Hillbilly set. Maybe he wants to run the builds that he thinks is going to work and hopefully get him that set. And, you know, it's worked out so well. And we do just stare up. Now, Ranga's going to have to eventually, you know, go back to the hook. And that's probably what he's going to do shortly. And, you know, we do stealthy on the side of Denver. Now, the question is, Peach, what do you think Ranga needs to do to solidify? Oh, okay, we've left in time. But what do you think Ranga needs to do to solidify and take, you know, take this set home? Or what do the survivors need to do?
For Ranga, I think it's pretty. One of the biggest things I noticed from the previous set, the tunnel out just didn't come in fast enough. And I mean, of course, it's hard to say, you know, it's the Ghoul, right? Ghoul is crazy. You got to chase, you know, get the quick bite, catch up, get the block of the pallets, and it should be fairly. Unless, of course, the altruism comes in, should be fairly easy to get the first tunnel out very soon. So I think Ranga just has to go for the tunnel out. Ooh, very nice life over that crappy tunnel over into the one bus, dropping that over, going for the bite over the pallet, but they will be able to vault through the bus. But I think that's what Ranga just has to do. Get a nice, easy tunnel out real quick and make it into the 3v1 as fast as possible. And we will get our second down onto Reese's. Yeah, we're already on our way for Ranga. But as for the survivor side, though, I think they just have to play incredibly slow. I mean, as you can see on the start side, they only have, like, a lot of them only have like 2 perks. Oh, I thought for a second we were going to see 1 perk per second, but with all the money that they put into their Ghoul, I mean, we saw all 4 perks with the Ghoul on Reese's build. I mean, we saw the Pain Res, the Corrupt, the Eruption, you know, just the full thing. So that means the survivor side is lacking on the money, which means they really have to be methodical with their movement, very slow with their start. And unfortunately, we were able to catch the like over here, but we don't want none of that. Just like I was saying before, we want to go immediately for the tunnel, get as fast as possible, and make it as difficult for the survivors to pop those remaining generators.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think one thing that these survivors have done very well is they clearly are coordinated, and this is ridiculous. Why are we playing? We're just spamming Volt, and we are going to go down eventually. And, you know, fair play. It actually wasn't too bad because in the end, their tunnel out got away. So, you know, it actually isn't too bad here for the survivors. You know, obviously 2 gens left, but their tunnel out is nowhere to be seen. You can obviously see them towards 11, but I have to say, Peach, considering what their plan is here, maybe they're going to go for a reset. They probably should. But I think overall, you know, this game so far has panned out a lot into the speed of how both sides play. It's not one that you can sort of just pick a side after you see a couple hooks. I think it's definitely going to come down to the speed of the game, and I feel like the survivors are starting to now slow down the game and sort of work it into their favor. And I think this is what Ranga might get. He might, you know, start to get worried because, you know, you're obviously not going to be able to find a survivor, but he does have a really nice basement hook, so this is what you love to see. And obviously you have to get 8 stages if you want to win the set. So, you know, Ranga, I have to give it to him. He's not in a terrible position. He has his gens nearby, I believe. In fact, he's hooked into the 3 gen. What? So I'm just completely blind and I haven't noticed. What am I doing? I need to lock in. This is ridiculous. So we have been hooked in the 3 gen. Denver's going to go second here possibly. And I tell you what, the game could just flip onto Ranga's side instantly. I mean, heads or tails at this point, but seriously, it might land on the side because right now Ranga is playing really well, but he has left the shack, so that should call for someone to go into basement and go for that unhook, which should happen in the next few seconds. There we go. That is the... No, is that the tunnel out? No, okay, it's not the tunnel. It's not the tunnel out. Okay, I got a bit nervous there for a second. I got a little bit nervous. I was like, we're not sending the tunnel out in to do the job here, but we are going to take the chase here onto the Mega, I believe. And, you know, Ranga, obviously, if he can get a hook put back into that area, or even near... Oh, stop it, that is beautiful. And that's the eruption, and now he can just drag this back towards his 3 gen. This is very nicely done from the big man, Ranga, who's been around for a while. He knows what it's like to play under pressure. He knows how difficult it can be, and, you know, He's had to pick up a lot more killers after one of the greats has departed. So this is definitely a lot more on him to lock in and sort of back himself a lot more here. And you know, there's the sprint burst coming in on Ica. So you know, I have to say though, Ranga is in a pretty nice spot here, and his movement is just too good for the survivors.
That movement is really good. I mean, we do see Denver working on the 4th gen right now, and we're going to see Reese, you know, try and come in for the unhook, which we do see, but we're already at what, 2, 4, 6 stages, so no one else can get hooked at this point. No one else. Everyone has to get out the door or in the hatch, whatever it may be. So this chase has to, I mean, it's easier said than done, but the chase just has to last. But Ranga is able to pull themselves over to the survivor over here and get the down. So with his hook, this will be the win for Diamond Dogs for this set, as the win con, or the previous result was a 3 fresh 7 stages. So we're now at 2, 4. Yep, this is the 4 fresh 7 stages. So very well played by Diamond Dogs, but of course in good fashion we're going to see them play it out as we want to get the best result possible and carry that mental forward into our next set. So we're into the Hillbilly. So yeah, very well played by both sides.
I mean, yeah, there's no doubt about that, and the movement just doesn't get to boosted to Ranga in time. I've got them mixed up. I've watched a lot of gameplay from them, so I've got them muddled up there, but Ranga does get a little bit lost with his movement, and that unfortunately won't work out for him. And tell you what, that 1 gen remaining, but it is looking really, really nice. There's no doubt about that. Now, can Reese's last here on this pallet? We do get light off, and we're just going to opt to break the pallet. Obviously, as you said before, Peach, your best bet, even though the set is over, just play for best result. Even if it's the grand final, you just play it out, do the best you can, because it's playing for pride and playing to win, or just playing for the best result. And that's what they're doing here, and very nicely done. And I tell you what, this last gen might pop here, and just doing a little bit of maneuvering here, just going to take that tag and send it towards the top side of the map. But I tell you what, Ranga, mate, that is ridiculous, that 3 gen you've been able to hold. I mean, it's definitely holdable, but it's the fact that the survivors have allowed him to hold it and get that, and especially that basement hook. I reckon that was the game changer for the game. I think that sort of flipped it on its side, and you know, Ranga sort of was fired up and just said, you know, okay, this is now my game, and you know, that's what he's done. And we are going to come in here for a hit tank, and I believe we're trying to swing around Ranga. I mean, we got to just slow it down. We're playing a little bit too aggressive here. We do get in front of the pallet, and bang, to the lobby we go. That'll be a death hook onto the big Denver. There's the Stop it now, stop it now. I don't want to wake anyone up in my household, but that is what you need if you're on the side of survivors. That is beautiful. And there's the last gen. Bang. Bob's your uncle. It's time to get out of the trial. That is what you absolutely love to see. I think these survivors should be very proud of what they've done so far. And Ranga obviously not too phased, I don't think, about the beamer, because he knows he's already won the set. But that is what you love to see if you are on the side of the survivors, just putting in the effort and getting the little bit of reward that they deserve to get, especially after that beamer, to have that final gem pop. And you know, this will possibly even be a 4-man out, because there's a healthy survivor on the gate. So hold on a minute. Do we body block in time? No, we don't. So this will be a down on to our survivor. Now, we are just going to stand in. We are going to try and get the beam. I knew we were going to give it another shot, but it's not going to work out in the end. And that will be a Mori onto the side. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know how many stages, maybe 9. I think it was... This thing was 8. Yeah, okay. So 8-4. Really, really good result, especially for the build that the big Ranga was running. Pop, Eruption, Corrupt. G'day. Welcome back to the second set of the first match of the night on day 2 of SewnangelSeason. We are here to watch the big Ranga play the Hillbilly. Now, this is their set. I do know that this team, I mean, very well known in recent times for their Hillbilly player who's departed, but the big Ranga, he is here. I have noticed a lot that this man has been scrimming his Hillbilly a lot. He has been getting in those scrims, putting in the effort, but the question is, how do these survivors play? And I do have to just stop there for a second, Peaches. We do split our first survivor. Ranger's running. No. No. That is not what you want. But I did notice, as I was saying, Ranger doesn't have a 4th perk again. So he must be getting told, or must be doing the telling, that he wants all the perks to be on the survivor, which is fair enough. Probably get more value from the survivor. He's clearly confident on the killer. So this is what you love, though. We are going to just use balanced landing for some reason there and get the unhook. Not too sure what the play was there, but it's worked out in the end, and we have gotten the unhook now. Ranger is in a really nice spot here. We've got a gen at, what, 25% progress, one at about 7, and, you know, we have spotted our next survivor, so Ranger on a roll here. There's no slowing this man down. And bang! There goes the next survivor. What a beautiful little turn there from the big Ranger. Now, these survivors would be probably starting to get really nervous because the pace of this game is probably going a little faster than they expected. Of course, it's a hillbilly set. Obviously, duh, it's meant to be a fast set. But I think the actual pace that he started this game off is a lot faster than these survivors would have expected. As you've seen, I mean, 2 really fast downs. Gen is yet to pop. I mean, this is looking really good for Ranger. He's just going around to every generator he can, applying eruption where he can, and I have to say, Hook's in a great location again. It just is, and he's making sure that these survivors are going to have to play really, really slow, but then gonna have to speed it up, and Ranger just BMing. Of course, it was accidental, but he is gonna just go back to the hook and, you know, hopefully pray that these survivors don't sneaky pull this, which could happen any second, but they are on the two on Gen, so if this survivor does get caught out here stealthing on the side of Reese's, it's going to be problems. If he gets caught here, it is problematic. They'll go second. He'll get another fresh hook. It will just be a lot more problematic than it already is. I mean, realistically, we're in a tough situation here, and we're going to just hopefully not get caught out here. Ranger's probably not too aware that there's a survivor right behind that rock that he's looking at, and, you know, he's just going to leave this very shortly, you'd assume, and maybe he'll even just secure it. So he's just going to secure, and there you go, he's off. So Peach, the survivors are in a really rough spot here. Of course, there's no doubt about that. What do they do to pull themselves back into this contest?
I think one of the biggest things they got to do is hide. Well, I was going to say hide the tunnel out, because going to the 3v1 at 5 gens remaining is not exact.
Oh, no.
Hasso. I was going to say was that going to the 3v1 at 5 gens against Ranger is not the most optimal thing to do, and it's best to hide the tunnel as best as possible, even if it means dying for them. But Denver was not able to get the fast bolt, and Ranger was able to just take him off that window. And yeah, we now see the death at 5 gens remaining. We do see our first gen pop for it, so it's not that there's no gen progress on the map at all. But with the pacing of this game, like you're saying before, the pacing of this game is just going way faster than expected. I mean, I don't think we're expected to get that down over at the bus. Like, 2 survivors in the same spot, most of the time you want to split up with the hillbilly, because I mean, it's a man running at you with a chainsaw. I mean, it'd probably be best to split up. So definitely not the best start, but we've seen crazier outcomes before. If the survivors can stealth as they are right now, because as far as we know, as far as Ranger knows, he has no idea where the survivors are at. They're stealthing very well, and that's exactly what they need to do. As we see one of the gens at halfway, Maria's gens. Oh, wait.
Ooh.
We kick the gen. If Leica can stealth this, Leica is successfully able to stealth that. That's exactly, like, at this point in the 3v1. This is exactly what you need. Comms have to be on point. Every move has to be precise, and every time that.
No, I'm gonna have to stand up in a second. No, that is not what you need. That is unfortunate.
No, that's not. I'm trying my best to give the best strategy, and it was working. But there must have been a miscomm somewhere between that 5 gen and the bus, because they were doing really well. We saw a lot of gen pressure being built, like slowly being built up, but unfortunately, Leica was just caught out, moving to the gen, or maybe trying to get out of the way. So yeah, Ranger's just gonna be happy with just tunneling them out. I mean, he knows that there's not a whole lot of gen progress on the map, and we do see is that the BT, that there's the tail end of the BT, because I don't think I saw the dead hard movement, so mistimed by Renga, but that was definitely good by like being able to prolong the chase as best as possible as we see the gens crank in the background. It's not a good world where we have to just tell your survivor, hey, just last on ping against a hillbilly. But that's just what you have to do at this point. We need to get the gens rolling. We need to get this win con just a little bit better for Greasy, which I believe who will be on the killer side. So like just lasted. Oh, just barely missing the saw again. Like just holding the distance, and they will go down at this spot. The very delayed vault over the top. But we see 2 gens pop for it, Renga.
I think
Hassel. Holy.
I think look, if I did see I believe that is I'm not too Maria. So I did see Maria get on a gen that had about 40% progress. Now, best case scenario at this point is to get out. There's no doubt about that. But the best, I think the best outcome that they will get is a 4K1. But we're gonna need to see some real juicing here. Ranga is played this beautifully. He's basically been flawless in every part, and he definitely has. Unfortunately, but he definitely has. He capitalized is what I was looking like. Capitalized on the survivors' mistakes. Obviously, a couple of them. That's 2 survivors that have been caught off guard, unfortunately. But you know, I'm sure that these survivors are definitely gonna. I think they'll have a look back and see where they may have went wrong. Some teams aren't as experienced against the Billy. Not to say this team isn't, but definitely feel like from what we saw against the Ghoul that they are definitely capable of getting an even stronger result than what they have gotten today, which is a 4K2, which is very unfortunate on the side of them. But I do think to take out of it, Ranga just he's played flawlessly and we've disappeared. But yeah, he's played flawlessly. There's no doubt about that. And we've lost the survivor. So.
There again.
The portal. So he's trying to turn it into, as some would say, the Gibbsy and try and get a little bit flicky here to put a show on for the audience. And Ranga just you might want to just get them down here and settle with that. But he's trying to go around the sinker that is not worked out for him, and he's just gonna get this. He's not. So hold on. Imagine a survivor does slug out for this though, and we don't find. Oh, okay. We definitely have found them. Okay, there's no doubt about that. So that is a beautiful 4K2 on the side of Ranga. But look, you know, it definitely it's not the worst. I mean, it couldn't really get much worse than what it is. It is the worst. But considering they were what, a 4K 3, 4K, even 4 at some point, it could have looked like. They put it back to a much reasonable result that still is going to be difficult to catch up on. But you put the. Some people like to be backed up against the corner and be told, "Welcome back, everybody, to what could be the final set for this first matchup." We have Greasy here on the Billy, who's playing for a 4K3, a very hard win con. And first thing I have to spot out, the big Mo is on Ghoul. No, Ranga, you can't be doing it and then getting it. That's not how it works. That is unfortunate. Ranga's just been caught, lost in the fog. It's not what you need. Okay, that is not what you need. Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts, Peach, on that?
Yeah. That was even faster than the previous trials down. As we saw, like, we saw the chase over at that bus, and then caught out in the little nook and cranny, and we saw the down. And here we just go around edge map and catch out Ranga. So I'd say this is a really, really good start for Greasy. I mean, we know this win con is going to be incredibly difficult with the 4K3, but I'd say this is a very, very good start. So, yeah, Greasy, I think, is just happy with applying some eruptions, and I think Greasy is still going to need to keep the pedal to the metal and get that tunnel out, because, I mean, we just like the previous set, getting that make it turn into the 3v1 at 5 gens. I think that's exactly what Greasy's going to need to do as well. They're going to keep pressuring Ranga, keep getting the hook stages on him, and pressure the gens, fly the eruptions, and maybe there's a world where this win con can be met, but it's going to be incredibly difficult as we see three different gens being worked on right now. Oh, almost catching him, Ranga out the window over here at the Blood Lodge. So, I mean, if Ranga can let this chase last just a little bit longer, I mean, we're about to see a lot of gens popping in the distance. So yeah, just send the chase back over to where they got caught up before. But I don't think there's any. Oh, there's another pallet over here. I believe we're probably just gonna break that pallet and zone him to the edge map, which we will. All we have left is a Z wall. We're trying to go for the beamer save, but go for the blind. We were not able to. So Reezy just happy with walking him down, expecting a dead hard, get the eruption proc. So we will see the second stage added to Ranga, but we are gonna see 2 gens pop for that chase. So a lot of the pressure was on the side of Greasy, but I think it just shifted back over to the Diamond Dogs.
Yeah, I mean, they've played this really well, the Dogs. I think, I mean, Ranga, mate, if you're rewatching this, you're gonna really have to lock in on your stealthy, because that was poor from you, mate. But no, there's no doubt about it that they've pulled this back, and I think, you know, having one of their strongest, without a doubt, if not probably strongest survivors. Not again! Oh my god, not again! Not again, no, that is getting me nervous. He's got to stop. But that was very close from Greasy, but having probably one of the best survivors in Philly Fry not playing is a, you know, maybe it could be something that they don't feel as confident in. I hope they feel confident, because they've still got a great lineup, but I think having that solidified first you know, man that you'd pick to go to is definitely not having him is definitely a loss. But look, they played beautifully. They may have even played better. No, stop! We have not ended. No! Now make Shaq and the blind coming in. Ranga's putting on a performance. This man could have done even better if he didn't get sniped off the rip. That is some weary stuff that has happened. And oh my god, Ranga, you need to stop this. Greasy getting a little bit lost here, unfortunately. And I have to say, this is just being played beautiful from Ranga. And, you know, Greasy hasn't even made any errors. It's more the fact that Ranga's just making the right moves at the right time. He's going to make the vault. We do bump in to the wall, unfortunately, and this is going to probably come in with a hit tank very shortly from the big Supersaurus. This man, I mean, you'd like to think has Unbreakable if we could get a switch over to Supersaurus before anything. Well, no, we don't. We've got Wiglif. Ranga's coming in for the hit tank. We have got FTP with Wiglif. What are we doing? This is ridiculous. We cannot be doing this in a comp setting. This is some JLM video stuff right here. We have just popped the FTP and the Wiglif. That is value right there from 2 perks that synergize beautifully together. I cannot believe that we're pulling this off in a comp setting. That is ridiculous. Rang, that's not going to break the pallet, as unfortunate on the side of Greasy, but I tell you what, these survivors are gen efficient. This is ridiculous so far. Greasy not getting this down yet. I'm sure he will, and does get a little bit lost. He's crouched on the window, and we're going to opt to just leave it and probably play for what we would say stages at this point. It doesn't look like it will be out. And what is that fit that Promo has got on? This man is not a Fortnite skin. This is comp DBD, mate. But there's no doubt that this has just been played super well from the survivors.
Super well indeed, and with that Ranga chase, we saw the 4th gen pop, which breaks the tie, and that is a set win to Diamond Dogs, meaning they have won against nothing. Well, they didn't win nothing, they won against nothing. 2-0. So congratulations to Diamond Dogs, but nothing has absolutely shown that they have what it takes to compete in this league. They have like they can run with the big dogs, haha. But because they really did have a great performance in the Ghoul set. They brought it back a little bit with the ability, regardless of losing their first survivor at 5 gens. They were able to pop 3 more gens. So these guys definitely have what it takes to really throw up some numbers and make a difference in their group stage bracket. So very well played by them, but we will see the down onto promo unless we do something crazy like flaring to the left. We're not able to get this off, but I don't think there's anything else that promo can work with unless they can flare again, which they will not. We see the eruption proc, but Ranga's already on. Wait, there's someone coming in for the save.
Beamer.
Beamer? Firecracker. Wait. Trying to get almost got the snipe onto Beanie with Saw, but yeah, they're just trying their best to, they want to get all 4 of them out of the gate. We just need to pick up on the promo. We do get the Saw onto Beanie, but we're gonna continue our rampage onto these survivors, trying to get everyone 4 to the floor. And just barely missed Promo just by a little bit. Promo taking him to the edge corner, maybe to buy just a little bit of time to get the doors open and maybe get the pickup onto Beanie, which we do see, and we will see the pickup onto no, Greasy is out for even more blood. He's not satisfied with just the 2 stages. They want more. They want more freshness. They want more of everything. So well played. Trying to just keep them off the gates, but I think Greasy is happy with picking up. Wait, there's still someone around here. Someone is still around here. We see the gates pop. Maybe they can get a buy block. Wait, was Wigglyf on them? Is Wigglyf onto Promo right now? Was Super Source or Wigglyf Star? No,
yes.
it is on them. Yeah. It did wear out though, but they're really trying their best to get everyone out the door, trying to buy block Super Source, trying to get Super Source out the gate. Beaver flashing onto Super Source saying, "Nah, you are not leaving this trial." A little bit might have been some sandbagging instead of a body block, but we will get the pickup onto Super. This will probably be a basement hook, and they will not be able to get the unhook. No, they're not gonna go for the basement. They're gonna hook right over here at 6, right in front of the gate. So we see the setup with the Beamer trying to blind them at the hook, and we do just a nice little M1 on Taranga. And I think we're just happy with camping this, get the best result possible, get the 2 fresh 6 stages. But seriously, well played by both sides. This is an incredibly fantastic match to catch.
Yeah. Look. What are these survivors doing? Boys, just take the result that you've got and leave. There's nothing much that you can do with this. This will only result in more casualties, which is not what you want if you're playing for the best result possible. We do. Oh my goodness! If Greasy committed to that, that would have been a naughty flick right there. Beanie does get the pick up onto the big Runga. We are down onto Beanie though. That's another fresh secured. Now all we have to do is really just him out. I'm not too sure what we're gonna do here. Do we have a beamer in hand? No, we don't. So I almost thought for a second Supersaurus had the beamer, but he's got a medkit. He can't do much with that, so that's unfortunate. But that will be another fresh secured. Now, Peach, the real question, they're not playing for this, are they? They're playing for it.
They're absolutely playing for it.
No. You can be. That is unfortunate from Greasy because he's hit the actual survivor on the hook.
Oh, no.
This joint's coming in. This could just be a 4-stage right here, right now. 4-3. I'm gonna get someone down here. Pomo's gonna have to dodge. He does. That'll be 4-3. Beautifully done on the side of survivors. That was ridiculous.